Hey, it is Josh. This is another Snookvice, which is something I do bi-weekly. And I know this is kind of late, sorry, I've been really busy. um, but if you have anything that you want help or advice on, the submission link is below. And who knows, maybe you'll be next. Social anxiety has been a part of my life for years now, since the start of high school. But it's only recently that I found it to be really affecting me in my everyday life. Because of health issues linking to anxiety stopping me from going to university, in the stay-at-home job I've been working at since, I found myself having not spoken in person to anyone other than my parents, give or take the odd shopkeeper, for at least 4.5 months. Sometimes I think that I'm actually scared of people because I shy away from interacting with them when I don't have to. My question is, do you have experience or advice for this situation and how to break out of the fear of social situations? That's a really good thing to ask, and I can help a little. In no means am I going to be great with the subject, but I've definitely got experience and some ideas that could help you as well. One thing that I'm very used to is being scared of people. Going up to someone and saying hi, and then talking to them. Something I started doing when I had this problem was just counting down and then talking to them, or just saying something without even thinking about what I was going to say. And it's not easy at first, I know, but with enough practice you can force yourself to do it, and I would really recommend trying it. It'll slowly lessen how you feel when you talk to someone, but you'll still feel slightly anxious every time, but less and less each time you talk to them. Going back to the counting method from earlier, it also works in tons of other situations. All you do is count down from 3 in your head, forcing yourself to speak on 1. However, this also works with, for example, being anxious to sit next to someone you don't know. You can count down before you sit next to them. This works in tons of different circumstances, like walking past someone, talking to someone, picking something up in front of people, giving a presentation, pretty much anything else that you're scared to do. Another great way of trying to overcome anxiety is by trying to make new friends. It's extremely scary at first, but the more you talk to them, the easier it'll get. And sure, it'll still be scary to talk to new people, but it'll feel easier and you'll feel less anxious when you next have to. I remember when starting college, I wouldn't say a single word to anyone. I started talking to one person who I'll call Gherkin, and I do still talk to them. We would get put into new groups for each project. During the beginning of each project, I would never say a word. I was too scared to talk. Like, sure, I knew them, and sure, I'd talked to them before, but it was still scary. They were new people. But throughout the projects, I would force myself to talk, or count, and then talk. And I eventually became comfortable with a group of people, and now I'd say I'm comfortable with talking to pretty much everyone. You said you were in uni, and I don't know what the American school system is like, but here in England, when we go to college, we pick 1, maybe 2 sometimes subjects to do for 2 years, and I chose media production. That's what I spend all my time doing. A great part of this is that everyone else around me has also chose to do media, which means that if not everyone, most people have pretty similar interests to me. And sure, it's still scary, but it takes the edge off a little. So I would just recommend find a group of people with similar interests, and you don't say anything at first, sure. Just find that group of people and talk to them. Get to know them, and you'll start to feel a lot less anxious. And then we're coming to the end of the video now, but I just wanted to say that something about anxiety, which is probably the worst part about overcoming it, is that it's not really easy to just get over it. You have to push yourself through it and ignore it. It's not easy to do, it's not fun, it takes effort. I mean, you're going to be anxious, but you've just got to push through it, and that sucks. It's also not easy to help with something like this, because everyone finds anxiety to be different, everyone has to do different things about it, everyone has to try and overcome it differently. But I can at least give some help and ideas for what you can try, and then maybe come up with your own little idea of something that can help you overcome it in a way that you like. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. I'll see you, I guess, next week.